Off to a great start. Welcome to Drakewind Falls. I am James, your DM for this new game here on Known World United. We'll be streaming on Twitch and also sharing to our YouTube channel. With me, I have four wonderful friends that we're going to be embarking on this adventure coming out of our Extra Life 2021 event, which we all participated in. We are going to be engaging and exploring the setting of Drakewind Falls. So we'll go around the horn real quick. Just introduce yourself, and we'll get to know our characters here very shortly. As we're wont to do, I have a ringer, and he is to my this way.
That's true. That's where I am. I'm
Nice.
Nate. I mean, I guess I'm your D&D ringer who you really want to zoom in on for some reason. Can I call myself that? We're all pretty well versed in the D&Ds.
Yeah.
Are you underselling yourself to begin the campaign?
I mean, that's kind of what I do in general. So yes, I am.
All right.
Yeah, baby.
Oh, it's me. Hi. Hello. I'm Warrior. And I'm here. And I'm excited. And I'm going to oversell myself. This time around, I'm gonna win D&D.
Oh.
Oh no, that's me. I am Lady Christy. I am new to playing with these fine folks here outside of the occasional one shot, so I am looking forward to playing with you all.
And I'm Joel. I draw stuff. Hoping that by the end of tonight, someone will tell me what the second D stands for.
Anyway, so we're going to be playing in a new setting. We took some time to build out something that was unique for us. We really enjoyed playing together during Extra Life this year. So we went on a bit of an adventure playing the game Microscope, which is created by Ben Robbins. You can find all of the details down there, or follow him on Twitter at LameMage. Certainly worth a follow. He has a whole host of different world-building games, but we've built out this setting, and we're trying something a little bit new. We'll be streaming here every other Saturday with these fine folks and maybe some friends. We'll see what happens. But today we're going to jump into Drakewind Falls and see what happens. So a little background. For over 450 years, the community of Drakewind Falls existed apart from the known world, hidden from the gaze of the surrounding towns, surrounded by fjords and mountain kingdoms and frozen empires that dot this continent. The falls were settled by those not of this place, but they found a home, and they found it so precious that they harnessed the power of dragons in order to keep it tucked away from the restless eyes of the outside world. And in doing so, they grew a relationship with these mythical creatures that leveraged both of their strengths towards a peaceful coexistence. So they formed from these first families that settled there a shared rule which would eventually, and at times divide or unite the peoples that settled there, eventually bore new protectors and stewards of the land, the Drakewind elders and rangers. Each blessed with one of the 5 sacred crystals that granted them an extra keen bond with their draconic counterpart. An academy was formed in order to train the residents of the falls to hone their gifts, whether in magic or in melee. The academy became home to 5 guiding forces in the falls that each strove and grew out of a desire to protect it in their own unique ways. The face, the scale, the talon, the tongue, and the breath. Those were tasked with the next generation of Drakewind Rangers to steward the 5 elemental drakes, which keep the embers of the beacon lit each year during the 12 days of Christmas. Yeah, that's Jiminy Christmas. Somehow my first ever D&D character lives on. Leaders of each of these factions were drawn from these original family lines, as well as those from kind of split factions and surrounding areas that grew to know the people of the Falls, the Hearth, the Gleaming Glen, and reunite members of the Falls to counteract the shifting tides of power that were propagated by the barony of Burgundy. They drove a new era of prosperity, exploration, and wonder for this place beyond common knowledge. That is, until Extra Life, when the embers of the beacon were extinguished. The Falls were no longer a secret whispered on the lips of children as they went to sleep as a magical place where drakes live side by side in harmony with the residents of a magical kingdom, or in the machinations of those who wish to exploit the dragon bond or the unique flora and fauna, or to flora to fauna of the Falls to their own end. It was exposed. So after the Drakewind's failure at Extra Life to relight the beacon, Drakewind Academy drew the interest of students beyond the borders for the first time ever. Though it was resistant at first, it expands its curriculum and faculty to accommodate this, and a new era of knowledge and prosperity was formed. But it wasn't greeted by all with open arms. As foreign armies amass to confront this hidden kingdom and what secrets they don't know lie beyond, there is a huge earthquake, or I guess it's just a quake, whatever our planet is called, planet quake, that hits the Academy and the Falls. The resulting rock slide drops the foundation out under most of the university buildings, and the mix of mountain and buildings caused tons of collateral damage throughout the settlement. Residents begin to flee, no longer safe from the outside world and the beacon. So shortly after the earthquake, with enemies not having really gone anywhere, friends begin to arrive. First, mountain-dwelling elves of the Eastern Range riding griffins, resplendent with coats of brilliant blues and white, and they bring with them hope in the form of keys that would unlock secret knowledge that would push back the evils that exist in the world since the first infection from the Dragon Mother Tiamat. But they aren't the only friends and curious outsiders that join the rebuilding efforts. Awakened bears, envoys from Foglith, Desert Elven Kingdom of Alakarna, the nomadic reindeer that ride in to the base of the Falls on moraine mammoths, dwarven masters of stone and woodwork, smiths, other crafters, start to rebuild homes for students and citizens alike. And a call is sent out from Drakewind Academy, notifying alumni who've ranged far afield after graduating, advising them of the situation at their alma mater. Alumni return in droves to help the repair and join all of these friends that have come to rebuild the Falls and Drakewind Academy. And that is where we will pick up. So what I would like to do with my very first roll with my brand new dungeon mastering dice is I'd like to find out which of our lovely characters we are going to meet first. Walking through the streets of Drakewind Falls, we see a young woman, resplendent with a warhammer and a bit of finery in terms of her armor. She is wide-eyed and excited to be moving through the world. Though she doesn't feel at home in Drakewind Falls yet, she has been here just a short time. She's heard stories from her father about this magical place and what it might bring. So, Fern, tell us a little bit about how you came to Drakewind Falls and what you did over the Christmas holiday.
All right. I am Fern Panlin, and I am Oh, good, we're looking at date again. And I am from a little area on the outskirts of Drakewind Falls known as the Fen, which is where I live with my family. And my dad was a Drakewind Falls alumni. And when the call came out that everybody should rejoin or reconvene, I should say, in Drakewind, my dad was a little reticent to go because he's not super popular in town. And so I convinced him to let me go in his place because I'm real bored in the Fen. And I am very excited to just like get out into the world and experience things and help out and maybe get some light revenge on the dragon cult for reasons. And that's me.
All right. We see her moving through the space. Unbeknownst to the rest of the falls, she walks without the knowledge that she is a descendant of Lady Fandland, one of the Drakewind elders, that on that faithful 12th night of Christmas was unable to relight the beacon, not just because of their inability, but from a betrayal that hangs over the family of Fernanda, which I really want to sing, but I won't because copyright strikes.
Don't
All right.
Just say it in the first session, James.
You know, I mean, we do things and things happen. So Fern is moving through the streets of Drakewind Falls and stops in to get a light nosh as she moves through at a small establishment well known to the individuals of the falls as the Beacon. Though the kind of magical beacon that ensconced the falls no longer shines, the Beacon is a coffee shop and bakery that's located just outside of the Academy campus and has been a popular hangout with students that need a little boost or get their genensis on, which it's going to take me a while to get into that, and I hope I didn't totally blow that. But following the planet quake, its Minotaur proprietor, Ferdinand Moody, opened the doors of the beacon in order to anyone in need of rest or sustenance. And it was one of the first places that Fern really felt at home in the falls. Moody became, kind of a familiar friend and someone that she could stop in and talk to, having known her father previously during his time at the Academy. To sustain the flood of new arrivals, Moody creates Filler Up, which is a bacon-studded barley porridge topped with a combination of roasted, light, candied, and spiced nuts and seeds that reminds Fern of home, and she often stops in for a bowl before going and helping with the rebuilding efforts. It is here that we find ourselves confronted with the majesty of another Minotaur who makes his way down the stairs. You could easily mistake his dress for the time of mourning, but it is common to see him shuffling about the Academy grounds, as well as hanging out at the Beacon, his favorite coffee shop, as a maybe unofficial employee or endorser. He's often found holding his cup that has the Beacon's branding on it, as he comes and goes and gets mugs full of Genensis to carry around with him throughout the community. He's also here to help in the rebuilding efforts, and maybe from a morale standpoint, he is the one and only Highland, played by Ryan.
Hey, hi, hello. Highland. The Minotaur, as previously mentioned, sort of like a Highland cow vibe on the looks. I've got a one horn is like maybe a third of a horn, capped in gold. The other one full length, which is nice on the right side with a little wizard hat on it. Is wearing purple bathrobe, purple PJs. It's just comfortable, honestly. Clothes are an illusion. Society is a construct, but it makes everyone else comfortable. So like, it makes him comfortable too, and he's into it. Yeah, he's around. He's sort of like used to be the big man on campus, big Minotaur on campus. Oh look, there he is, hey, buddy. Used to be the big Minotaur on campus. Now, comes around for guest lectures on student life, leads some weird tours. It's cool. Sells his Genensis blends at various locales, including the Beacon. And he got a call while he was in the shower back home in Bolstros, which is a town way north of here, and came on down to rejoin the efforts for the good old alma mater.
So, ooh.
Oh,
As Highland makes his way down, we also see a connection between him and Moody, though from different walks of Minotaur life. They share a bond that was forged during Highland's time here at the Drakewind Academy, where he graduated with flying colors.
colors.
Colors, mostly purple and tan on the mug.
Yeah. Yep.
Highland represents one of the kind of institutions in Drakewind Falls, and one of the kind of largest kind of expansions out from the falls, from the community of Bolstros, on the north of the continent, where his father and stepfather live, while his mother keenly adventures out across the continent. One of the more well-known adventurers, and certainly one that is looked up to by the youths of the continent. All right, let's see. Who's next? In the high perches of Drakewind Falls, above the Schoolhouse Rocks dormitory, and near where the mists reach the clouds, we find a small settlement, primarily of various bird folk, but you can hear a good number of kind of early morning song from various bird folk, and the kind of loud squawking and hooting coming from one particular home as we zoom in to see a small, wide-eyed owlin. He's just 2 feet tall, very small even for an owlin. But he is skittering about, doing his best to get his books together for orientation, as he is coming back for another term at the Drakewind Academy. Horton has large glasses. He looks quite beautiful. Let's see if we can Let's see if we can share that beautiful bean footage. There he is. His mother and father are also kind of shooing and hooting him about as he gets ready, and he will be played by Nate.
That's right. So you see Horton there with his giant scarf given to him by his mother that he will definitely at some point grow into. It's not something that's going to trip him up regularly when he's flying about. You asked about winter break. So he spent his winter break casting Sending and reaching out to all sorts of alumni, including Highland, as he mentioned, not embarrassingly at all, catching him in the shower. Everything's fine.
a unique tidbit about our good friend Horton. He also comes from a historic family here in the Falls. His grandmother, Virginia Abernathy, former proprietor of Thistledew Nicely, and current head of alchemy at Drakewind Academy. The prestigious Hieronymus, his father, has taken over as proprietor of Thistledew Nicely as his grandmother returned to head up the alchemical studies and help out the current head of Drakewind Academy. And so as he is flittering about, there are also 5 other young Owlin siblings, Harlan, Holden, Hayden, Harper, and Hope, all a Twitter excited about Horton heading off to school, and a couple of them also attending Horton.
No, they're not quite that old yet.
Just
Oh, you're the
excited to see
oldest.
I am
Brother
the oldest.
Horton. So proud. All right. So we've met 3 of our illustrious members. The 4th is a bit of a mystery. We see him moving through the streets, outfitted for work. He is not a former student, nor does he have ties to the academy beyond his desire to contribute to the recovery efforts. He has spent time with some of the splinter groups from the Falls, in particular the Green Rangers, working once he acquired his maker's mark, and traveling with the nomadic Rangers. There is a kind of a number of things that he's been able to contribute to since he's been here, jumping in wherever he can contribute, forging tools and nails and braces, performing manual labor. And by night, he met a certain Minotaur on occasion, as he was also someone who both worked hard and play hard. He's known to jump into a good-natured brawl, and could be found in very many places, sleeping, whether that be the forge or whether that be, I don't know, the domicile of a fair maiden. He's Becker, and he's quite a sweet, sweet boy.
I don't know what to add to that. Yeah, I mean, he's the kind of guy who, in a good-natured brawl, will hand the barkeep a coin so that if the other person wakes up, he'll get a drink, and if he doesn't, he'll get carried home.
Excellent.
No hard feelings.
No, never. So, whoop. Oh man, this is where, yeah, I need my spots. So we join kind of in progress. Fern having her delicious bowl of breakfast. Highland comes down the stairs, is greeted by Moody, and sits down, what I imagine, for a morning cup of brew.
Fern, I'm telling you, look, just try it out. Just the Highland blend sells super well in Bolstros. You just stock it here. Kids are going to be happy. These caves are dangerous back there. You know, they can't be going and foraging their own. So you gotta sell it here. I'll keep you supplied. You know, I got the best patch anywhere around. It's just sell the notes, man. Sell candied cherry, sell orange peel, sell a little bit sweet. Gonna get you a little tipsy. It's gonna be good. Go to class, have a good time. I'm just saying. Think. Don't turn me down just yet. They're selling real well up north. Fern.
I feel like it's difficult because I want to do a voice, but then I realize I'm going to be doing you doing a voice, and then I'm like, oh, wait, is Ryan just going to have a conversation with himself here? I'm not quite sure
Kind of.
exactly how to do it. Your pitch is super well received. I mean, Ferdinand movie is never one to yuck anybody's yum, and certainly when trying to provide some light in the lives of the residents of Drakewind Falls and certainly the students in the academy, he recognizes that the Beacon is a place where people come to gather and to kind of take a load off. And it's one of the few places where there's a lot of kind of mixing outside of the recovery crews for students and faculty and members of the falls. And so he says he'll give it a shot.
That's all I ask. So you want like 100 cases, or
why don't we start with 10 cases for this upcoming break end, and we'll see what we see with everybody and how it does. And if it does well, we'll see what we can do.
Okay, I'm going to be honest with you. That's great. I'm into it. I've got 3 cases.
Three cases.
I've got 3 cases. I was selling a little harder than I had support for. I didn't think you were going to be so open to it, and I'm sorry for that. I doubted you as a person, and but I've got 3 cases.
So this Highland blend, is this a morning blend? Is it an evening blend?
It's an all day.
Maybe
blend.
Since there's only 3 cases, we sell it along with some breakfast.
You know what? You sell it how you want to. It's an all day blend. I've got it in my mug literally all day. It's tasty, keeps me going. So I mean, but breakfast, I like the pair. I like the combo deal. I like the value meal.
We'll call it the Highland Filler Up.
Sure. I mean, due to my previous reputation on campus, that might be confusing to a percentage of the population, but I like it. It's intriguing. It's sexy. It's 7:30 in the morning. You know, it's what you want.
That's what you want at 7:30 in the morning.
Mm-hmm. That's what a lot of people want at 7:30 in the morning.
That's what I wake up for. Best part of waking up.
Highland Filler Up.
Highland Filler Up. Please don't sue us. Or
now we're
get
gonna
at
get
us.
sued by
Actually, no, I don't want that on my conscience. So, Fern, you see this laid back entrepreneur slanging Genensis blends in his PJs. You've seen him, kind of in here before. You've worked on occasion in the same circles. In fact, when you first got here, took a tour that Highland gave of some local caves that turned out to be quite an adventure beyond what was advertised, but certainly worth the silver. All right, Becker, as you are wont to do, you have continued through the campus to one of your favorite places, the gardens of the school. It's a place where you've been spending a lot of time, both working, but also, it's as the recovery has drawn on, it's a place where you've gone to laze about and generally be able to, appreciate the beauty of the falls. You also recognize a small owlin that you've seen poking about as he is wont to do, a curious young lad, and in the past he's questioned your presence there, as there is still a bit of a rift between the students and alumni and those who have come to help, especially those who are not part of the kind of Drakewind diaspora. Those that have either left the Falls with kind of a splinter group, or have kind of left for other reasons after the Embers went out. But you see Horton Abernathy, who you have come to recognize and develop a nice relationship with. You were able to, kind of talk a bit previously after Horton had gone and talked to another individual that you've all met previously from the registrar's office, that calmed him down and reminded him that these outsiders are no longer outsiders. Everyone in Drakewind is welcome, and we would not be where we were without him. So Horton, you kind of alight down. You see Becker kicked up with his feet resting on his hammer, enjoying a morning cup.
Hey, Becker, what's going on?
Oh, not too much. Just, getting the day started right. What's the book of the day?
Reading, studying up on my alchemy. Gotta get that straightened out so I can take care of the family business eventually.
Excellent. You don't want those grades to drop.
No, that'd be bad.
Well, I mean, life would soldier on, but
I don't know.
It might not for Horton.
That'd be real bad.
So as you guys are chatting a bit, you hear what can only be described as one of the worst sounds that Horton can hear at Drakewind Academy, and that is the dulcet tones of his grandmother, Virginia Abernathy, when she flies down and lands and perches right next to you, Becker, and says, "Horton, whatever are you doing here, lazing about? Don't you have your studies?"
Yeah, I'll get going.
We would not want the name of Abernathy tarnished in this institution. We have produced some of the most outstanding students Drakewind Academy has ever seen, and it would be a shame if that were to end with you because of those you associate with.
Ma'am, he was just telling me about his love of alchemy, and it sounds fascinating. Like, I'm tempted to visit the library and learn about alchemy as well, just because of how impassioned and knowledgeable he is on the topic.
And who are you?
Oh, I'm Becker.
Becca of...
Becker Stokes.
I see. And you and young Horton have taken up. Are you helping him with his studies, Becker Stokes?
Oh, I wouldn't presume to know as much as Horton. I mean, but if you ever have questions on metallurgy, I'm your guy.
Very, very interesting. I shall have to keep that in mind, though. Yes, very good. I could see this being very beneficial to young Horton. Horton, let it never be said that we cannot learn from those with different interests. Though, do not forsake them for your books.
Of course not.
And she reaches she kind of tucks her wings back, and she pulls out a kind of old, dusty volume of alchemy, and presents it to you and says, "I would like you to hold on to this. It's very dear to me, but I think it might come in handy this term for your studies."
Oh, it's heavy. All right, thank you.
Excellent. Becker Stokes, it is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. Please ensure that Horton is not deterred from attending orientation today or his further studies. Though it is beautiful to spend time in the gardens, we must not lose track of our goals here at the Academy. Learning, graduating top of our class. Horton, we can't all spend our time at Thistledew Nicely. I see you doing nicely. No matter what, if you keep those studies up.
You got it.
Virginia kind of hops a little bit and then takes off and kind of flies over and lands and then kind of hops next to another instructor here at Drakewind Academy and leaves you and Becker standing there a little bit in awe.
Just to be clear, I'm probably never going to read that alchemy book.
Yeah, I didn't think so. That's okay.
Okay, I understand. You want to learn about working metal and have questions about metallurgy. Like, seriously.
I'll keep that in mind.
So we'll head back to the beacon as Highland is having his morning cup. Fern, you wrap up your delicious bowl of filler up, and Ferdinand makes his way over and asks if there's anything else that he can get for you, and hopes that you've enjoyed your breakfast.
It was lovely.
Hard Selford.
Well, if you'd like that, why don't you try a little bit of this?
That's my boy.
And he puts down a steaming mug of Genensis that has a unique aroma. It tickles the inside of your nose, and then as you kind of breathe in, you can like get little wasps of something that definitely warms the inner cockles of your half elf heart. It's you can see it through the steam because your vision is quite attuned, and you are intrigued.
What is this?
Well, that's a special blend. I call it Highland blend. It's a little new something we're trying out here, courtesy of that gentleman over there. And he has his own glass of Genensis, and he like gives Highland one of these, and Highland.
Beautiful. So he's given me a cup of this.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So I will take a deep breath in and, experience the tea as one does, or the Genensis. Not tea, excuse me.
Call it tea. It's okay.
It's pretty potent. Even just kind of like breathing in the aroma, like you get a little bit of that kind of floral kind of buzz from all of the notes that you're picking up. In addition to the kind of medicinal notes of the various herbs, you're also picking up the distinct tinge of fermentation, but it all feels like it blends very nicely with the filler up, like very complementary to the kind of sweetness and the kind of earthiness of the porridge.
So I'll take a super like deep whiff, like perhaps slightly too deep of a whiff because this is my first time experiencing this. And then I will make like a teeny tiny little sneeze. And then I will hold it up and take a sip.
This is unlike anything that you've ever tasted before. It is exquisitely pervasive with the depth of flavor that even in that tiny sip, you're like, oh, this is the good stuff. I don't know what this does, but it does it well.
Get you fucking drunk.
Perfect at 7:30 in the morning. Everybody wants a Highland filler up at 7:30 in the morning.
Some of us have stronger constitutions than others, so
Make me a constitution check.
Jesus. All I'm trying to do is have a cup of tea. That's an 11.
You're like, oh, this is like you imagine that if you were to get the kind of full cup down, you'd probably be in the cup a bit. This feels like it could be a mind expanding experience. You're curious about it, but you're not sure it might be in your best interest, even after having an entire bowl full of porridge. This might be stronger stuff than you're used to.
Okay. After my sip, I'll just gently set the cup down and I'll just look at him. I'll go, that's different.
Different good or different bad?
To be determined, I think.
wow.
He like reaches down and like puts his kind of nose near the mug and he like looks back at Highland and then he like, oh, I don't know if that's for you, dear.
That's, you should let the customer decide, honestly. For yeah. I know she sneezed a little bit, but I want you to know that this blend is hypoallergenic, so you don't have to worry. That's a personal problem of hers, not a problem with the product. So you can feel comfortable continuing to push the product in your fine establishment. Hi, Fern.
Fernanda, let me introduce. You know Highland, yeah? Everybody knows Highland.
Yeah, we go way back. We did the tour. You've been on the tour.
We did do the tour.
Oh, you went on the tour? All right, never mind. That is for you. You have as much of that as you want, young lady.
Told you.
Told you.
If you went on that tour, whew.
Stanton's fine for don't worry about it. Stop bad mouthing the tour in front of customers.
Well, everyone's a customer, Highland.
That's what I'm saying. Point made. Thank you.
Yeah,
Making
well,
my point for
guess
me.
what? She probably knows you basically live here, and she came in.
Mm-hmm.
She comes in,
yeah,
on the regular. Didn't scare her off. If I haven't scared her off, and you haven't scared her off, and them caves haven't scared her off, she ain't getting scared off.
Okay.
I don't think
reasonable.
my bad pitch is gonna scare her off.
I'm on my like 6th mug this morning, so I might not be.
Mug.
Yeah, I've been sipping. I get up early. I've been sipping since like 5:30, so I'm used to it. How you doing, Fern?
I'm doing all right. Had a great breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
I've experienced the Highland blend now.
Sure, the old Highland filler up.
I hear that's new here.
It's new and old here.
Oh.
How you been? You those are nice boots you got. I don't wear shoes. I've got hooves, but those are nice boots. You on duty today? You quaking? Quaking in your boots, Fern?
Not currently, though. If I finish that full cup of tea.
Sure. Yeah. That makes sense, I suppose. It takes a little bit of getting used to, A lot of students, if you'll notice, if you watch the academic progress of most students here at Drakewind Academy, they do a little rough in their first quarter, but then they get used to the stuff, and performance improves vastly over the rest of their academic career. So I feel pretty good about it.
There's a bell curve.
There is.
So
Important market research.
It is. It's very important. It's how I spend a lot of my time.
Making spreadsheets.
I don't know what a spreadsheet is, but I do spread the Genensis out onto sheets to dry before it's lightly roasted. Trade secret, so kind of, yes.
Do you harvest this yourself?
Yeah. I got a patch over down by one of the few caverns that didn't cave in here. It's actually called Highland Row. It's been officially recognized by the Academy. So
They put up a plaque.
There is a plaque. Several plaques actually. A few awards. And the botany classes go in there and get the good stuff. Professors skim a little off the top, which is frustrating, but it's tough being a teacher these days. The economic support that used to be there isn't there anymore, and they got a rough road, so I don't blame them, but it's still, I wish they'd just tell me,
It's reasonable.
How you
been?
been?
I've been good. What are you up to today, other than?
Oh, I'm quaking. Yeah, that's what they call it, quaking,
Oh.
when you're helping out with the relief efforts. It's a colloquial term.
I didn't realize it had a name.
Oh yeah, well I coined it. You should hang out at my parties, because that's where the cool folks go. And
probably should. Makes
most
sense.
of them are upstairs in my apartment.
That's conveniently located.
Yeah, it's a house party. It's sort of a beacon for the community, literally. That was Fern's idea. Actually.
Not for all. Well, it's all right when they start with just a couple friends, some acquaintances, some alumni.
Right.
It's when the whole party spills out of your room and downstairs during off hours, and then I got to clean it up in the morning. While you're still waking and quaking.
Sure. No, I understand. I mean, that's fair. I try to prestidigitate behind myself as best I can, but when things get wild and folks are hiding things in cupboards and stuff, I don't always check everywhere. I'm sorry about that. I'll be better.
Well, we all do what we can. Let's see if we can't make a little money together, and we'll see about maybe finding you some additional quarters.
Sure, yeah, we can make a lot of money together too, like 3 cases worth of money.
It's a good start. It's a good start. So
somewhere.
You can use the cases to hold the money after you sell it.
Perfect.
Horton, as the only student of the bunch, you know that prior to the beginning of term, there's going to be a announcement from the Dean of Students, Horton Fern. She has reminded all incoming and returning students, as well as all of those who have been helping with the relief efforts on campus, to join her in the court, to hear a little bit about the kind of updates for the recovery efforts, as well as a couple of new statutes for students and study, and kind of new cohorts that will be joining the academy, as well as updates from each of the 5 curricular heads. And so this is scheduled for midday. Your orientation kind of go around and find all of your new classrooms at the academy. There's been some changes. Some of the construction over time has kind of changed the academy in ways, and there's certainly been more recovery even in these last couple of terms as buildings are updated, parts of the falls are reconnected as they kind of hang from this kind of area of the Wing Whisper Mountains, and so you are able to make your way around. I'd love for you to make me a survival check.
All right. Ooh, 16.
Horton, your book knowledge of the academy and your fastidiousness in keeping maps of every nook and cranny has paid off incredibly well as you find your way around the campus flawlessly. So much so that people are stopping you, thinking that you are a guide, and you have to constantly remind them that the badges that you're wearing on your person are not actually those of kind of docent of these spaces, but rather kind of trappings of your study that you have done both in and out of the academy. That said, who is an Abernathy to deny their fellow student of a little bit of help? So Becker, as you're kind of going around doing the kind of work throughout the kind of first few hours of the morning, you see Horton kind of going back and forth. There's a little kind of cutscene, and Becker is like, hammering away and kind of fixing up tools. People are coming over and talking to him, and then you just see Horton hopping, back and forth, like his little wing, like held out even to the smallest of students, making sure that they can get where they need to go and learn the kind of way to circumnavigate the academy and all of the changes from the previous term. Horton, what does your schedule look like this term? What studies are you taking?
Well, before we get there, the smallest of students is actually Horton. They're all bigger than he is. He's like 2 feet.
What about the young rat folk?
Oh, I did forget about them. All right, that's fair.
I mean,
Horton, I've heard that you can charge people 10 silver for this kind of help.
Oh, did I make any money showing people around that way?
An Abernathy would never charge for such a service.
Oh, you're right.
Your
What was I
altruistic nature,
15
and-
for non-students.
and your desire to show off your knowledge, not in a kind of boastful or prideful way, but in that kind of need to ensure and kind of test yourself, kind of taking on all of this extra work in addition to finding all of your classes, which are exactly where you thought they would be. You know what it is to be the little guy. So whenever you can be of help, you certainly are doing your best to do so.
Well, of course, Horton went to the school ahead of time to make sure everything was where he thought it would be, just so he doesn't get surprised. He
Absolutely.
In between people, Becker's going to be like, Horton, could you do me a favor? I need to get to wherever your first class is. Mostly so that your grandmother doesn't yell at both of us for you being late.
I'm never
She's
late.
scary.
She's not that bad. So my first class is alchemy, followed by numerology.
Turned out strong.
Yep. And then I do have a class with Professor Poffo.
Oh,
A busy
excellent.
day.
It is. It's a big day.
So, how far are you into your studies here, Horton? Is this your second term, or are you coming back? Is this the spring of your your second year.
This is probably Horton's second term.
Okay. So the professor of I don't know what do you call that? What is his class called, Horton?
The alchemy class.
No. Yours with Lanny.
Professor. No, Lanny's long past. That's Gene Poffo, I believe, is this year. I'm pretty sure it is Poffles and you.
Oh, and is that the introduction to the fauna of Drakewind Falls and surrounding areas?
Yes. So I mean, it starts out with warnings and how to handle the Poffle. Just because they can be deadly if you're not paying attention.
In my head, it's just like the home ec class where they give you a bag of flour and pretend it's a baby. Except it's an actual Poffle.
And then later on in the semester, you have to cut it open to do your baking part of home ec.
Oh.
You're like, if you don't make it through, you don't get to do the second half of the course. So Horton, in between helping out other students, you do point out the kind of alchemy classrooms, so Becker can ensure that on your first day that he makes sure that you are there and is showing his own initiative in ensuring that his good buddy Horton is getting where he needs to go.
Yes, and I did misremember the professor's name. It's Gene Lanny, teaching us about Poffles.
Yeah, I thought Lanny was the professor name.
Yeah.
Oh, there's so many names. So many names.
Quite a faculty directory, really.
I had to look.
Oh, it'll be up shortly on Drakewind.academy.
Hey.
Become a Drake today. Spread your wings and soar. All right. I'm doing Highland's job here. I got to stop hype manning it. So
at least charge people 10 silver.
Highland, you know that that there is going to be the address today. You've been come to ask about or to talk about a little bit about alumni relations, and also just, I mean, Highland, you are a fixture at the academy. Since graduation, they've asked you back for kind of alumni talks and to talk to new or incoming students about campus life. And really are kind of unofficial spokesperson for the academy and all it can do for its pupils. So you know that after kind of the conversation, talking with Ferdinand a bit about the specifics of the Highland blend and the three cases. He shows you his spreadsheet, which you recognize is actually a large sheet of parchment, wherein he has all of his measurements for different recipes, what he needs to order and purchase from various vendors throughout the falls and in their surrounding communities, which you're might confused in relationship to your own kind of sheet techniques, but
sure,
it checks out. Whatever gets the blend out to the masses.
For sure, yeah.
Fern,
I just keep track up here mostly, so this is a good system.
Waited for a moment, nobody's been looking at me, and poured my cup into a potted plant and pretended like I drank it all.
Potted plant is feeling good.
Moody, after he comes out from speaking with Highland, walks over and is kind of attending to some of the other kind of small groups of students and other folks from around the falls, and he looks behind you and goes, "Oh man, just watered that this morning. It's not looking too good. He walks over and picks up the plant, and he's like, "Oh, there. We'll get you all fixed up." And takes it behind the bar, and you can see he kind of goes behind the bar and starts kind of mixing some things up, and he's shaking, and then he kind of puts it on the kind of brewing stand, and you see he takes this kind of little bit of flint, kind of just almost kind of like appears from his sleeve, and he sparks the burner underneath it, and it starts immediately to kind of bubble and put off a really like saccharine smelling odor. You see it kind of bubbling away behind there, and you see him just kind of reach down and whisper something to the plant, and it'll be okay. Everything's gonna be okay. If you fix it right up, I don't know what happened. It's gonna be good. And about this time, Highland, you're recognizing that if you're going to be on time, you're probably going to want to head up to the academy.
Well, looks like about time for me to head up onto the academy if I'm going to make it there in time. Fern, you sure don't want to come along?
Sure.
Great.
I'm not up to much today.
Sure.
No.
Well, you could be. So
exactly.
Now you got this. That's everyone's better already.
Absolutely.
Thanks to Highland in the morning.
I'm not sure if that's how I'm going to start my day.
Well, I respect that.
Now I'm just thinking about Moody and Highland like having a Troy and Abed in the morning show.
It could happen.
Hi, Moody in the morning. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
They sit there with their like cups of Genensis, just right there in the middle of the beacon. There's nothing going on, like just students and people walking by, and that's Moody like pitches that like on the way out. Like, think about it. That's how this whole Highland filler up's going to take off.
I'm done thinking. Yes, I accept. Starts tomorrow. I'm going to hold you to
be here.
Well, I will. I live here.
It's true.
He like shakes his head, and you see him like walking behind the bar, and he takes the kind of the little beaker off of the burner, and he kind of reaches over to the potted plant and pours a little bit on there, and you see it like perk up right away, and you hear him kind of kind of like cooing and assuring it that everything's going to be all right. And there's plenty more where that came from.
I make a mental note not to pour tomorrow's cup in that particular bucket.
No, well, let's make a preemptive history check.
Seems appropriate. $21.
Fern, you know exactly which plant that is, and you will have a keen eye to watch out not to water it with your.
Thank God that wasn't like a coffee shop dog or something.
Roar, roar, roar. one of Joel's wordles.
Oh no, definitely not one of those. Those aren't indoor pets.
Look out! So as you all head up, you make your way through. You see a couple of other people that you recognize. Highland, you're really familiar with Professor Chu, who is also a magizoologist. He has helped you out over the years since your graduation, when you've come back to kind of hone your understanding of some of the wild beasts of the Wing Whisper Mountains. He is also an alumni of Drakewind Falls, and you knew him when you were in school. He has become quick friends with Professor Lanny, who Horton is quite good friends with, as they both kind of share that kind of realm of kind of magizoology. And so as you're kind of walking up, you kind of see Professor Chu, and he walks over and says, "Hi, Highland. It's so good to see you."
Hey, what's up, Chewie?
Oh, not much, man. The creatures this term are gonna be crazy.
Yeah, more crazy than last term because
This is nothing compared to what we had back in the day. But there's statutes and all of that thing. But we are bringing in some absolutely bonkers animals. It's gonna be the best.
That's awesome. That's great. Yeah, you know how it is. Things get worse as time progresses. It's always best when it was our time.
Don't you know it? Oh, this entire world is slowly decaying, and just like everything else, it will become the fodder for another creature higher on the food chain.
For sure. Yeah, it's like a burden and a joy to be like the peak of culture, like it's kind of a bummer that it's never going to be as good. It's just going to be on a steady decline, but it's also like we were there when it was good.
Yeah. You know what they say, Highland, a bird in the bush. Am I right?
One of these days, people are going to like that.
Yeah. I'm going to put it on a shirt.
You did put it on a shirt back when we were in college. Remember?
Oh. Sometimes I forget. A little too much Genesis, if you know what I'm saying. The Highland blend still going strong. All right.
It does. Available now at the Beacon. So.
Just then, a feline walks by. You can't tell. It's not very large. It may be a tabaxi, although it may just be a common
a big
common
cat.
Not sure. What's up with that? So as you're walking up to the academy with Professor Chu, you see him walking along with a kind of a small owlin who is just kind of bending his ear about all sorts of things. This is Gene Lanny, another magizoologist. You're less familiar with him, but with the overlap with Professor Chu and the kind of lineage of Poffel professors with a specialty at the Academy, Highland, you've gotten to know Professor Lanny a little bit, not nearly as well as your classmate, but he's pretty familiar with you. And the owlin next to him is another of your tour mates who was not quite as keen about the outcome of the tour as expected. He was really hoping prior to his first kind of returning term to enjoy the Christmas holiday and just get out for a little bit of adventure, see a little bit more of the areas around the falls. And so when he sees you, he's a little timid, due in part to your size, but also to the maybe the desire not to join any further tours without some more guided supervision.
Hey, Horton. Hey, Lanny. How's it going?
Hey there, Highland. How you doing?
Oh, yeah, Highland. How you doing? Nice to see you.
It's always a pleasure, Lanny. Good, Horton. We're just quaking it, as we do in the know around campus.
I just found out that's what it's called today. Didn't know that.
Everyone is calling.
Oh, you didn't know that?
I didn't know that.
Even Horton knew that. That was not a slight.
I'm
at you,
not
Horton.
from here. Be nice.
I'm not from here either.
Yeah, just
you've
this
been here
weekend I
longer.
was wearing my quaking in my boots blouse when I went out to help out with some of the rebuilding. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No, I really appreciate how you've revolutionized the dudes wearing blouses movement. Like, they're so comfortable, honestly. You know, I'm obviously all kind of about comfort and fashion simultaneously, and the blouse is a real good way to go. Unconventional, it gets people talking. I like that about you.
It's what I like about you, Highland. People walking around with restrictive clothing. I got to get it out there.
Sure, man. You know, it's, cream of the crop. Am I right, brother? You know.
Yeah, dig it.
Hey, hey, you seen Tarbin around? He got like wasted the other night at one of my parties, and I was just wanted to make sure he's all right. I know he hangs out around you sometimes.
Yeah, I haven't seen Tarbin in a coon's age. I saw him when we were out having some Genensis last week, but haven't seen him since. Yeah, I thought that he just, got a little bit in his cups.
Sure. Yeah, no way in his cups. Kind of a keg situation, honestly. That's cool. I'm sure he's fine. I just kind of wanted to check up. But Horton, how you doing? How's classes going?
We're just starting. It seems to be going okay so far.
Yeah? You gonna be late?
I mean, I hope not. We got to go to the big to-do with the dean.
Classes don't start till tomorrow, Highland. Don't put that on me. Just orientation today. Yeah.
All right. Well,
gotta get those lectures put together.
Hey, feeling orientated?
Yeah.
I'm getting there.
Okay.
Horton, how come you chose not to take another class with me and sticking yourself, Professor Chu? Oh, wait. Are you enrolled in my class?
Yeah, Poffles and you.
Oh, yeah. My little owling buddy. Oh, yeah. I like how you learn about everything to do with all the animals. You keep it up there in your little owling brain. Your big owling brain.
You know me, always thinking.
Yeah, that's what Virginia says about you. That's why that head's so big. It's to store all those brains. Yeah.
This is great. Yeah. Well, anyway, yeah, it's almost time for the thing, so I'm going to go to the thing, so I'm not late for the thing. Fern's coming with me, so that's cool. You guys want to walk together?
Sure.
Yeah. Who are you?
Oh, who am I?
Yeah.
We all know each other, so.
I don't know you. I know you, and I know you.
I don't know you either. My name's Fern.
Hey, nice
here to help out. You too.
What are you doing here in the fall? Is you from around these parts?
I'm not really from around here. I came to help out with the rebuilding and what have you.
Fern, all right. Yeah, Fern. Should I call you Fern? Should I call you Ms. something? No, we're good?
Fern's good.
Great, yeah.
That is my name.
Yeah. Professor Lanny. You can call me Professor Lanny.
That makes sense because that's your name.
Yeah. Not my name, my title.
Excuse me.
I will never give up. Yeah. Just got it. Have no inclination to let go of it anytime soon. Yeah.
You just became a professor?
Yeah.
Oh.
Took up that additional magic zoology position. Gene Lanny, yeah. Gene no more. Professor Lanny now.
Does that mean you have tenure now?
You can call me Gene. And he puts out his hand. Shake your hand.
I will shake his hand back.
Like big old. He's just wringing your hand.
It's like the whole arm.
Yeah, Fern.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Pleasure to meet you.
Gene and Fern, pleasure to meet you too. You ever want to talk about animals? Meet down, hang out with Highland at the Beacon, yeah. Have some of that
That
Highland
sounds like
blood.
fun.
He takes a big swig of the glass of Genensis that he also has. All right, so you guys are making your way into the great court. It's an outside space that most of the classroom spaces look down onto. It's located kind of in the heart of the the crevasse around which a lot of the academy classrooms are kind of hanging from, with this kind of large kind of space open to the sky. There are kind of a number of kind of natural outcroppings in this space, and you can see that some of the spaces have been kind of hewn, and some have been patched after the quake to create some kind of natural seating areas. But this is like a large kind of amphitheater that you can traverse your way across, and you see that you're not the only ones that are kind of moving in to this space. There's a number of Dragonborn that are coming in. There are all numbers of animal folk. In fact, maybe for the first time in your life, Fern, you see a panda folk, which is an incredible rarity this far west. They mostly keep to themselves in the eastern mountains, but they like many others have made their way over. Horton, you've grown up in Drakewind Falls, and you even for the kind of multitudes that have come since the quake and the kind of dropping of the beacon, almost 50 years ago. In your young life, this is the kind of most diverse and kind of incredible array of different kind of magical beings and kind of humanoids and animal folk that are here. In fact, like, your head is spinning a little bit, trying to feather your way through your kind of magizoology guide to the continent to determine what some of these beings are that frankly you may not have seen before in person, but you are incredibly excited about. As everybody's filling in, Highland, you see a number of alumni. Maybe if you could share one or two other folks that you recognize, either from around the falls or former classmates, or maybe a professor that you had.
Yeah, sure. There's a centaur named Benton. Few rows down, few rows over, sort of like Appaloosa vibes. We hung out like a little bit like first senior year. And there is also a Dragonborn named Tarvos, sort of a like a white Dragonborn, kind of younger, like, sort of like when Highland was on his way out, Tarvos was on his way in. So might still be finishing up, but they know each other from a while back. Partied together,
No doubt.
on the tour.
Do you know what they're doing now? Are they coming back as alumni? Have they stayed on in the falls or taken up positions?
Benton is back as an alumni, I think. Benton is also from Bolstros, so they probably came down roughly around the same time. And Tarvos, I think, is probably just like senior year.
Gotcha. Excellent. How How long, out of curiosity, did Highland spend at the Illustrious Academy?
Oh, I don't know, like years.
Excellent. So you see these two friends of yours and kind of walk over to kind of give your greetings. At that point, you recognize Fern, someone who you haven't seen since before the Christmas holiday. A tall, strapping gentleman. Name of Becker. He's 6 foot something. No, he's not. But he's real sassy. He's got that same kind of hair that you have. There's just like a tinge of the flame in him. And he's a strapping young man. Sweat on his brow, carrying the tools of his trade along with him. He walks up to you and Horton, and Horton greets him with a degree of familiarity, whereas you two haven't seen each other since your lovely cave adventure /tour/nightmare with Highland.
You have to pay extra for the nightmare.
This is libelous.
I'm pretty sure that I did have a nightmare, or maybe it was a daymare. It was during the day.
A nightmare is when you come out with fewer than you came in with. We came out with more than we came in with. It was a wild success.
Yeah,
They wrote it up in the paper. We got little medals.
All of us?
Yeah. Did you lose yours already?
No, I mean it's in my pocket
Still in
here
the
somewhere.
mail.
It's in the mail, yeah. It's in your Glamazon locker.
I like the idea that Horton's just like anything that gives him a badge or a medal or a patch. He's like, I will do this.
Sure.
You tell me what I need to do. Read books. Do the Beacon Highland Blend Challenge. Whatever you need. I'm your man.
Well, I don't know if I can handle that.
I think I would kill Horton.
Yeah, I'm not saying that it won't be difficult, Horton. I'm just saying that you're an achiever. You're an achiever.
That's true.
lady.
I mean, I get to read books and eat pizza. That sounds great.
Horton would kill it, book it. Like that would be.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, legit? I don't know if any of y'all have nieces or nephews, but my nephew got his first Scholastic book order, and it's still printed on newsprint.
Nice.
And I was like, "Oh my God, yes!" He was like, I was looking at it, and there's so many books in here that I want. And I was like, I called up my mom, and I was like, "We are going to buy him all of the books. Have him circle it with red marker. We're going to do this." Or do what I did and like make the outline like around each one that I want, a little like box.
Mm-hmm.
Box for sure.
Well, otherwise you cut off the text. It's a whole thing.
Mm-hmm. The real ones made the box.
Yeah, no doubt. Horton, one of the real ones. He's like in there.
Mm-hmm.
Beauty. It's just like every single one though. The entire thing. It's like the only ones he doesn't select are the ones written by his grandmother that he already has like ancient copies of.
Mm-hmm. Highland takes his seat and he pours out a little thimbleful for Horton. It kind of passes it down. You wouldn't think that Highland's the kind of person who has got like a thimble in his pocket. Then you'll take a look at Highland and you're like, that guy's got thimbles in his pockets.
No doubt.
I just imagine your pockets are like the Mary Poppins carpet bag. Like just anything you could ever need.
Yeah, it should be just a reskinned like robe of useful things.
Oh, thanks, Highland. What's this?
Don't worry about it. Just have some.
Oh, okay.
Don't worry about it.
I mean, it's a thimble, so he'll just take it all.
Like
Make me a constitution check.
All right, this is gonna go well. I mean, I have a bonus to Constitution, but it's a 1. Oh my, that's beautiful. I rolled a 1.
Oh, for realsies?
Yeah, I'm trying to decide if I want to use my inspiration or just let it go. But
I mean,
it's
You might have to use your inspiration or let it go. You know what I mean?
All right, we'll play it out. We'll see how this goes.
Don't do it.
Poor Horton. She's gonna be half in the bag at the school assembly.
It's fine.
Did you re-roll or
no? We're just gonna let it go with a natural 1.
Okay, all right. Well then, I would like you to roll me a D100.
All right. Let's see. And there it is. Oh, that is a 9.
A 9.
Yeah. 00 and then 9.
All right. You begin to feel like really, really light. Like you kind of feel like your body is like floating up. And so like every couple of seconds you find yourself like kind of flapping your wings to like bring yourself back down to the ground, but you're on the ground. And so Horton, you find yourself kind of like sitting there, and everybody's kind of taking their seat. Whether it's kind of the more formal seating for the faculty up near the kind of dais that's been erected to speak to all the students, or the kind of more informal seating where most of the students and a lot of the alumni and folks that have come to help work are, and you have taken your entire thimbleful, and you're all kind of standing there awaiting the beginning of the proceedings. There's music that begins to play, and about every couple minutes, about 5 minutes, you get this like urge that like you are floating away and you need to like get back down to earth. And so while you're standing there listening to the kind of melodies play, the kind of songs of Drakewind Falls that Horton and Highland you are very familiar with, Fern, Becker, beautiful music kind of accompanying a procession of the kind of rest of the kind of leading faculty comes in. The head of each of the kind of 5 branches of the academy make their way out, kind of in order. The face, the scale, the talon, the tongue, and the breath. And as they are marching out, you notice that Horton is just like periodically furiously trying to like get himself back down to earth. And you see him just kind of like crunch down, and he's just like literally just kind of like just pushing himself down against the ground. Horton, can you make me a Constitution save?
Yep. Let's use the tiny die this time since I used the giant one last time. That is 10.
So this is you feel the sensation continue as the kind of remaining kind of elders make their way in and begin to be seated. So the urge to kind of float back down, like to kind of push yourself back down, is it starts to subside, but every once in a while you just like put your wings out like real quick just to kind of like steady yourself and ensure that you're not going to float away.
Horton, what's up? Horton, what's up, buddy?
I feel great. I'm just kind of floating away. Are you not floating away? That's real weird.
I'm not. Do you want me to grab the end of your scarf? So if you float away, we can pull you back down.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay. I'm gonna grab the end of his scarf and just hold on to it. Like give him a thumbs
Horton,
up.
this feels a lot like when you and Becker are hanging out in the gardens, where the kind of gravity just kind of like allows you to kind of float up. For someone like Becker, rather stout, it's not going to happen nearly as quickly as you. But you are, kind of just experiencing that lightness, and the more you experience it, the kind of less alarming it becomes. But you're just kind of enjoying this like very ethereal feeling, like all of the weight that is usually on your wings is just gone. All that, the expectation of being an Abernathy, the kind of need to kind of always be helpful and be ready to kind of give the answer. You're just like, yeah, hold on to my scarf. Yeah, this is nice. Becker, I think I interrupted you. What were you going to say?
Christy beat me to it, so it's fine.
We've tethered him.
I do love the visual of like Fern being like, "Oh, hey, buddy, like what's going on?" Becker like almost kind of like reaching in to do the same thing, and then like Horton's kind of in the middle, and like Fern and Becker like each like rather than holding his wings are like holding either end of his like long ass scarf. So
little buddy, he can't pull it away.
Oh, widow buddy.
Hey, these chairs are kind of small for me. If you could just hold on to one of my hammers, it would help me out a ton. Horton, he's just gonna like set the hammer next to him, which definitely weighs more than Horton does.
It does, because he's like
as another way of like helping him stay grounded.
So Horton, between Fern and Becker, you are not only are you like feeling the euphoria of the tonic that you've imbibed, but you're also feeling incredibly cared for by these this kind of friends and really kind of an acquaintance. But you get the sense that in addition to Becker's kind of rough and tumble exterior, you've gotten to know him and how kind he can be, and just that he's one of those salt of the earth type of folks that just wants to work and wants to enjoy life. Fern, you haven't kind of known as long, but you just get this real kind of feeling of kindness from her, and you're just like, Horton, you are so contented by this.
Oh yeah, he kind of says to himself, "Man, today's a good day."
No.
Highland, you see all of this happening, and just the power of Genensis to bring everybody together.
Insane.
Best blend.
Except for that plant.
Hey man, Leaf is gonna be fine. He'll not be a plant one of these days.
So you're all there, kind of hanging out with Professor Chu and Professor Lanny. You see Horton, your grandmother, kind of popping along with the rest of the kind of senior faculty, and seated in the kind of formal seats near the front. The music kind of swells up, and you kind of see the conductor kind of bring it to a halt, and you hear the clicking of kind of shoe on stone as the esteemed Dean of Students of Drakewind Academy, Horaldine Ferd, makes her way across the court, kind of shaking hands and kind of waving and nodding to students and citizens and workers and faculty alike. And she makes her way up to the dais and kind of takes a moment before she begins to speak, and then kind of looks out and says, "It's been 1 year since the quake that struck our community. And in that year, while enemies have landed on our doorstep and threatened everything that we hold dear, the Falls and the Academy have stood strong and been lifted up by our allies and friends from across the continent, from the Dragon's Spine all of the way to the Southern Rim, from our friends to the frigid North, and alumni from all over. We thank all of those who have given of themselves to supply us with the determination and she kind of catches herself for a second. And then she says, the determination and the energy, the light to guide us from these dark times back towards a sense of exploration, of unity, and of peace. We thank all of those who have contributed to the conversations here at the Academy and with the Council of the Falls in order to continue the discussion about the sanctity of our borders and of this institution. And for that, you have our eternal gratitude. And like a big round of applause kind of swells up. Horton, you're like, yeah, so many new friends. You kind of hear her kind of as the kind of din kind of settles down. She says, the uniqueness of the teams that have come together and use their knowledge from beyond the Falls and from within, drawing on 5 centuries of service and of commitment to our idea of family and of duty, to represent and to recognize the majesty and the gifts of Bahamut and the blessings upon us as we found this place and founded a unique community, has only grown with the diversity that we see represented here today. Both faculty and students bringing new field study and new traditions and cultures to this place have resulted in a tapestry far richer than we could have ever woven alone. And so as we look forward to the coming spring term in the year of Bahamut 502, I thank you all for your service, and I look forward to welcoming both our students and our saviors into the Academy to learn together and to create a stronger and more peaceful Drakewind for all of us. And there's a big oh yeah, it just swells back up, and the band starts to play again, and Horton, you're just on cloud 9 now. you are just like living it, and like Highland like looks down and he's just like, yeah, good buddy. And you see like Ruby is like hanging out in the background, and like he gives Highland one of these and Highland gives him one of those, and like Horton is kind of like waving at him, and you see the faculty begin to kind of rise. The various members of the different groups that have assembled. You see them kind of playing as part of this orchestra, and you hear small kind of pieces of suites that are devoted to the instrumentation of the desert elves and of the reindeer, of the dragonborn, of Bolstros, and of the kind of various peoples represented along Harrison's Fjord and out into the Dragon's Tail. All of this richness kind of culminating in the appearance of a number of wizards that are legendary from the very first festivities here in Drakewind Falls. They hail from the school of the Fabulist, and their music and their magic is kind of fused together to create kind of melodies that kind of lift people literally off their feet with the kind of magics contained. There is, in additional to the effects of the Genensis, there is a kind of unnatural but welcome lightening of the mood, and at that moment, an individual comes up behind you and taps Highland on the shoulder and kind of leans in and whispers and says, "Excuse me, sir, but I'm going to need you and your friends to come with us. There is something that the Dean of Students would like to discuss with you all." And then he kind of kindly waits for you with his kind of hands behind his back. You can see that he is a page that is in service of the esteemed Geraldine Fern, and works in her office as the Dean of Students.
Highland's kind of, all right, okay, I have a lot of friends. So, like, all of them? Like, it's like half this auditorium, so...
No. The Smith, the Legacy, and the Abernathy boy.
Right. Horton, that's definitely you. What are you, a Legacy? It's Legacy. He's like ambiently asking, "Legacy? Anyone? Legacy? Does that ring a bell?"
The girl
I
with
can't.
the fiery
Wait, do you not know her name, or are you just
Fernanda.
okay?
Please.
Great, Fern. Also you.
Yes.
And can I just get a third name?
Becker Stokes.
Perfect. Great. Tour group reconvene up in wherever this person's taking us.
All right,
Free
so
of charge.
he kind of turns on his heel, and he kind of leads you through the throng of people that are all kind of welcoming each other. It's really a quite a joyous affair. The kind of beginning of term, and especially being a year removed from one of the kind of great tragedies of the falls, and all of the kind of change that has happened in the intervening months. and he brings you up to the kind of higher towers of the academy where Dean Ferd has her office, and you kind of walk up to it, and he like quickly turns on his heels back to you and says, "Madame Ferd will see you momentarily," and he disappears. You are oh, Becker, I just saw some of the private chat. You are kind of waiting for a long while. Horton, you are now both kind of scared out of your senses to meet the dean, even though you've met her many times before. She's a very close friend of your grandmother, but she always scares the pellets out of you. She is a kind of a fierce woman in her demeanor and also in her commitment to the kind of rigor of the academy. And so, while you are used to seeing her at family functions or kind of stopping by Thistle Do Nicely, you're kind of brought a bit back down to the ground by all of this. And you wait, you all wait a good couple of minutes, and it's quite quiet in the intervening time.
I hope this doesn't take too long. I'm pulling double duty today. I'm doing clerical work and temperature control. Some of the iron work isn't up to snuff, so I'm filing burrs.
Joel, if you don't have inspiration, you deserve it for doing clerical duties. That's beautiful. So you all wait a few minutes. Is there anything that you guys want to discuss in the interim, or are you just kind of waiting silently?
Horton, I bet you'd get along with the guy who brought us up here, because, you and Pages tend to get along.
Do you think we're in trouble?
No.
I mean, I'm still holding on to the end of Horton's scarf because I promised.
One time, back when Chew and I were students here, we got his pants stuck up on the wind vane up above the dean's office, and we didn't get in trouble. Everybody knew about it. It was legendary. Actually, it was the quake that finally brought it down. So what I'm saying is I've never been in trouble, so we're clearly not.
Not going to start now.
No, I don't even go here.
That's true.
Highland, you hear a booming voice coming from within the room, and the door opens on its own, and you see that the dean is not alone in the room. There are a number of individuals that you recognize as the heads of the 5 kind of directorates of the academy, and one of them kind of peers down his nose and his glasses at you and kind of pushes them up and says, "Though Highland, that was not intended to be the new school colors. We did take it in stride and welcome you back. And no, you're not in trouble. In fact, we've come to ask you something quite important to the future of Drakewind Falls and the academy. So if you would all please join us." And that's where we'll end episode 1.
Cliffhanger!
What?
Stick around. We're going to have a little bit of fun after the drop here. But thank you to everybody that made this first episode so fun. We'll be back in 2 weeks on Saturday to enjoy more of Drakewind Falls. So thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you in 2 Saturdays.